back on the show. Tim was one of our first guests back a few months ago when we started Fearless Flipping, and now we're here on Conquer Corona with Tim. And what we're really trying to do here, Tim, is figure out what your business looks like since everything happened. We're recording this here on Friday, March 20th, and it seems like every hour things are changing. But you have an incredible story that I'm going to really encourage everyone to go back to the episode that we recorded with you, where in literally a span of 4 years, you were able to build up over $250 million of units in apartments. What is this whole thing doing to that business right now?
Well, first of all, hope everybody's safe. Hope everybody's stable out there. And here's what I found, man. The reality of this situation is that coronavirus, although it's spreading like crazy, it doesn't have the death toll of like H1N1 or any of these others, right? And although it's very dangerous for the elderly population, it's not dangerous for majority of the population. And the real danger here is the fear mentality that it's created across the country, right? It's everybody fearful and everybody worried and everybody concerned and everybody conserving their capital and conserving their money. The number one thing that drives economies is spending, right? And now people aren't spending money, or they're spending money on certain things, but they're not spending money on a lot of the things that drive the economy, like travel and things like that. So we're dude, I hate to say this, dude, there's going to be more people who die from committing suicide of the financial issues and impacts of this thing that actually die from coronavirus. It's insane to me.
That's
what's going on
to think about,
dude. It's sobering, right? So here's the thing. I think it's more of a it's not a global financial crisis, though. It's not like 2008 where this systemic collapse occurred and across all these different industries and everything went complete to shit, right? This is very different. This is more like not exactly, but it's more like a 9/11. It's more like this one-time punch in the face, impact, catastrophe type thing. And people are like, holy, they're all shook up about it and they're trying to figure out how to navigate it, right? I think we're going to rebound a lot faster than obviously like a 2008. But it depends. It depends on what happens. Like governments, last night, California quarantined the entire state, right? Puerto Rico's on quarantine. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. Ohio allegedly is going to go on quarantine in the next hour. And what is that going to do? How is that going to impact all of us? And if people can't work, I heard unemployment's going to jump up to 20-25%. And if people aren't working, what does that do to all the other bills? I think what probably needs to happen is a 30-day quarantine, everybody shut down. But then there also needs to be like a forbearance across everything. Like nobody has to pay any bills. Everything gets deferred for however many months, 3, 6, 9 months, and gets kind of pushed off so that way everybody can weather the storm. Here's the thing, man. I'm not going to rely on the government, though.
No.
I think a lot of people are saying, "Oh, the government will save us." Maybe they won't. I don't know. I'd hope that they do the right thing, but I'm never going to put my eggs in that basket. And so, like, what I'm doing is I have, as we sit here, I have 3,700 units, and let's say, I don't know, a lot of those are under construction or in the rehab phase and value add phase. So let's say I have a little over 3,000 tenants right now. We bought it at a very low basis, so we're at a good price point. We create appreciation, we bump up the rents, all that kind of stuff, and we're in the workforce housing type area. So we're kind of like a B class kind of a housing. So when the economy's good, everybody can afford it. When the economy shifts like it is right now, a lot of those luxury renters actually move into more of a workforce type housing, and that brings me to my first point. I think luxury is going to get crushed. I think it's going to be absolutely slaughtered. Everybody who built new construction only rents to luxury, and they force their numbers so much that they can't weather this storm, dude. They're going to be in really, really tough shape. So that's as far as luxury goes. Secondly is, dude, there is zero financial market for retail and hospitality right now. Meaning you couldn't get a loan or refinance any of those buildings if you wanted to. office and medical space, rental space has been hit pretty hard also, and so is warehouse. Really, the only government like the government mandates that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac have to loan on multifamily housing. So from my perspective, I'm in the safest asset class right now. If
Good.
all the other commercial real estate asset classes are getting crushed, and if I get hurt, dude, there's gonna be way more people that get way more hurt than I do. So um, that's what I'm seeing from the commercial real estate standpoint anyways. And if you want to dive into like some tactical stuff, I'm happy to kind of go over any of those things that I'm actually doing on a tactical level in my business too.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, Michael Zuber, has been saying for a long time that people are buying all these A-class apartment complexes, and when the economy gets hit, they're going to be crushed because they're buying it at a high price, and it works right now, but it doesn't work in the future. And he's
Mm-hmm.
been saying like, I'm going to be the one that's going in and buying all of these A classes at a C class price in a few years, and it sounds like that's going to be maybe that opportunity. From what I'm hearing you say, if it's a brand new build, they're just, hey, let's just cut our losses. Let's lose X amount of dollars, but we just can't get these things rented out at the prices that we need. That sounds like a great opportunity maybe in the future.
Listen, man, there's always opportunity in a downturn, and there's always going to be upside. I mean, shit, you look at Charmin. Charmin toilet paper is probably having the best quarter ever,
Right.
right? Like liquor sales are going rampant right now, and um, like you take a look at some of these different industries, and they're absolutely crushing it. Other ones are getting crushed. So there's always going to be the opportunity in a downturn. You just got to be on the right side of the coin.
Mhm.
And so, what does that look like? I think real estate's still very strong. If you got two things, if you got cash flow and cash, you can come out on the tail end of this thing and have massive opportunities that you can take advantage of. There's going to be a lot of those people that where the herd gets thinned, meaning there's going to be a lot of newbies that get wiped right out, and they're like, I don't want to deal with this, right? I didn't know that
Mhm.
there was this kind of stress in real estate. I thought it was a get rich quick, right? And they run out real quick. And then there's going to be a lot of other people who forced deals to happen, and they were trying to make deals happen when they
Mhm.
weren't really good deals, and they weren't playing off the downsides, and all of a sudden they get crushed. And there's going to be a lot of properties, especially nice properties, I think, that go back to the banks, and then guys like you and me can go in and buy them for pennies on the dollar, or at least at a price point where the rents do make sense. I don't have to rent it for $3,000 a month like the
Yep.
builder did.
Yep.
I can rent it for $1,800 a month, and make sure the cash flow makes sense. And so,
Okay.
yeah, man, that's where my head's at on this whole thing.
Yeah, last question here, and we're just trying to pack as much value into as short amount of time as possible. But I guess my biggest thing is I have huge FOMO, fear of missing out, and so like right now I'm antsy because I'm like, okay, I believe there's opportunity that's going to come, but I also am like, man, am I missing out on something right now? Do I need to be taking action right now on something? Where are you at? Are you sitting, observing? Are you taking action on anything? Where do you think people need to be right now at this time?
No, man. I mean, right now, what I'm doing is a handful of things. One, I'm refining. One, I'm looking for deals. Right.
Okay.
I have not stopped looking for deals. There's only three things that matter in real estate: finding deals, raising money, and refining your operations.
Hmm.
So right now, we're looking for deals. We're not spending any money on ads or marketing. We're going back and we're recycling all of our old leads. We're revisiting every single one of them because people who weren't motivated 2 weeks ago just became very motivated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that we're doing. I'm very active on social media, letting everybody know that we're liquid. We got some cash reserves and we're looking to buy. And guess what? We're finding some phenomenal opportunities from it.
Okay.
So I might not be able to get traditional funding, but I'm going to get seller financed. I'm going to lock properties up with an option or some sort of agreement that at least going to lock them in at a certain price point, and then I can refinance or cash them out in the future. But we're still absolutely buying deals. When there's blood in the streets, buy. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm raising money. There's, I mean, interest rates just dropped to the lowest they've ever been. They're at zero, and and so there's cheap money out there, and there's still a lot of money that wants to go into fixed assets. You see what's the volatility of the stock market. It's going all over the place. People want something safe, predictable, tangible returns on their investment. There's no better time to go out and raise money than right now. right? And I think we have a responsibility to show people that there's a better way than what's in the stock market. And then we're refining operations. What does that mean? We're increasing income, decreasing expenses. How can we generate more revenue and cut costs? And so we're trimming the fat everywhere we can. We're tracking our spending. We're reducing frivolous expenses. I'm eliminating non-productive staff, moving more to VAs, eliminating a lot of those expenses, and over communicating with our staff, with our tenants, with our vendors. And I'm looking for A players, dude. Just like there's assets to be purchased in real estate, there are amazing A players out there right now who are out of a job that could be picked up and added to your team for pennies on the dollar. So I'm looking to grow all of my assets. And I'll leave it with this, man. Do not waste a good recession. There's a lot of opportunity out there right now. So do not waste a good recession.
Okay, awesome. Tim, thank you so much for being on the show here. Where and when can people connect with you?
Yeah, man. Social media, find me on Facebook, Instagram at Tim Bratz, or at TL Bratz at Facebook. So hit me up on there. I'm always around. I'm always dropping knowledge and interviewing some of the biggest and brightest minds out there. Like I just had my commercial mortgage broker out this morning, and I was sharing what's going on in the capital markets and all that kind of stuff. So we're trying to put out as much content, and you're doing a phenomenal job with it too, Kyle. So appreciate you, man, and all the value that you're providing. So if there's any way that I can continue to help, man, don't hesitate to reach out.
Hey, it's all about collaboration right now, helping each other out. Tim, thanks for being on the show to help everyone survive and thrive during these very interesting times.
You got it, buddy. Appreciate you.